Welcome back to Cumbria Kart Racing Club. The Honda Cadet final is up next, and it's the bid for the Gold Cup. Henry Gregory and Fraser Oram on the front row of the grid from Oliver Fabricius and Jack Thompson, with Charlie Wyatt tucking in behind. It'll be about 12 laps or so, maybe a 13th, depending on the time it takes them to get around this circuit. We're going to have some cracking action as the bid for the Gold Cup begins. A good start on the offing from the inside line. Gregory, Fabricius and Wyatt have made a terrific start. A little bit of a hesitant one for Oram and Thompson, but Henry Gregory has led pretty much the entirety of the weekend. And if we'd hold a raffle, he probably would have run that as well, given his current fortunes. They come through McRae's and on the short stretch up towards Iredale's. Look at the gap. He's already pulling out. Henry Gregory deciding he's going to stamp his authority on this one from the get-go, as Fraser Oram gets himself back on the inside of Fabricius. Fabricius running wide. Jack Thompson going to try and get himself on the inside of Fabricius, and that's going to be an interesting one. Let's look again as a big dive from the inside of Fraser Oram, but watch. He's nudged him there. He's going to have to concede that position, surely, because that is advantage by contact, surely. We'll have to decide what's happened. So, well, he knows that it's happened, so clearly he's got to try and find a way of giving that position back again, doesn't he? Because he knows that he's done it, but just putting your hand up and saying sorry, that isn't really enough.
Well, it is if you get away with it, and it looks like he has got away with it, Jake, so there you go. Henry Gregory this weekend, as the graphic said before, absolutely dominant. Be watching him in all of the 6 previous heats. It's a unique karting format this year, Jake. I've been in karting for 20 years, something like that. I've never seen an event which is 6 heats and a final over 2 days of competition, and we did squeeze in, as we see the change there for 3rd place. That looks like Oliver Fabricius on Jack Thompson. So these 3 battling effectively for the last podium spot, and there is a Gold Cup to the winner and trophies to 2nd and 3rd. So 3 of these 5 drivers will win a trophy, and we've got the Ferrari watch to the driver setting the fastest lap as well. So Fabricius has certainly made his way by. Oh, and that is just too much there for Charlie Wyatt. Have another look at it. Hits the brakes. I think he was trying to stop himself going into the back of the driver in front, to be fair to him. He's gone off, but he'll get it back on. So we're left with this battle now, and these 2 are battling for the final podium position.
Yeah, very easily done there by Charlie Wyatt. He just put his foot on the brakes, and unfortunately you lock up the brakes and the car just pirouettes around. There's nothing you can do about it. Here's the move potentially cooking up for Jack Thompson. Good defensive manoeuvring from an Oliver Fabricius, but up the inside. That's a lovely move from Jack Thompson, as clean as a whistle, and found the gap. Really good racing. Let's watch again as he dives for the inside. Look, Fabricius initially holding that inside line, but he's had to get over to the left to start the braking point, and that's put the kart a little bit too deep into the braking zone. He turns it in. That's lovely from Jack Thompson. He pounces on the opportunity. That was really nicely handled. A bit too much understeer from Oliver Fabricius. He'll have learnt from that, and he'll move on. There's Gregory, still leading comfortably. 2nd position, the 21 of Fraser Oram, and then it's Jack Thompson in front of Oliver Fabricius. But for how much longer? Because Fabricius is definitely keeping up with him. Really good battle between these 2 as they go through the chicane, up over the curbs. Always a very competitive class, Honda Cadet. You never really tend to get 1 or 2 drivers disappearing too far out in front. Although circumstances this occasion, oh, it's a little bit wide from Fabricius as he puts 4 wheels over the white line on this occasion. But he's still giving it everything to close up on Jack Thompson. Down the back straight and up towards the stewardesses once again. This is going to be a really interesting battle between these 2 as they bid for 3rd position. They don't have to worry too much about Charlie Wyatt anymore after his earlier spin. Wyatt's still going, by the way, and still pumping in good lap times. He's still there in about the, well, it's about 59.1s, 59.2s at the moment, so he is still very much on the pace. He's just lost a quantifiable amount of time, unfortunately, that's dropped him off the back of 4th place. Cumbria Kart Racing Club are holding regular sessions through the season. For those who are new to the sport or want to get into it for the first time, head to their website, cumbriakrc.co.uk. It's within an hour of most of the places in the northwest which are prominent for racing, and it's very easy to get to. It's a beautiful part of the country. You could even double it off and have a weekend away.
Well, an hour if you're in your Ferrari, Jake, I guess.
Ferrari? My Ferrari, just because I want one of those watches. Is it bad to mention that, you know, Gold Cup is all one thing. I just want the fastest lap. I'd go out there on a kart faster than anyone else. I just want the watch.
Yeah, it's a difficult one. We did have some sponsorship. We've got races coming up later where we've got juniors and seniors and the smallest possible grids, but the racing, as you will see, is absolutely electric. But we had to decide whether or not to give the watch to the fastest lap or the driver winning, and we thought, you know what, they might sandbag it and rather go for, give themselves some space, not necessarily win the race, but just go for the fastest lap. But it actually, in those races, will go to, I think in one case, it's going to the driver that wins also gets the watch, so not necessarily the fastest lap. But yeah, it's been an interesting weekend, and those prizes have certainly, with the drivers, been well received, and these two right at it, Jake.
Yep, it looks as though Fabricius is trying to repeat the move that Jack Thompson did to him a couple of laps ago, edging him down that straight as they run up towards Stuart S's once again. He's going to pop up on the inside. Is this going to be the textbook move? Well defended round the outside by Jack Thompson. Really good control around that outside line, and he manages to keep him at bay for the moment at least. They drop down the hill towards St John's, and once again, it's going to be a tough one for Fabricius as he charges his way through the left-hander and up towards Paddock Bend for the last time. If this particular battle, he's going to have to try and do it all over again. 4 minutes on the clock. These two well stretched out in front, aren't they? Henry Gregory and Fraser Oram have slipped into a nice little rhythm, but these two are racing each other for fastest lap. Don't forget, that watch is still on offer for whoever pedals it round the fastest lap, and it's going to be Fraser Oram. At the moment, he's on a 57.54 until Henry Gregory has popped in that, a 57 flat. That is absolutely brilliant lap there. Very impressive indeed from Henry Gregory, who now takes it through the stewardesses. It's going to be very hard for anybody to match that sort of pace. Look at the gap he's pulled over Fraser Oram. That is the length of the straight out of the S's kink and into St John's that Gregory has built up over Fraser Oram. There is Fraser Oram, no mean driver in Honda Cadet. He's been making massive strides over the last 18 months as Fraser Oram, and he is definitely a championship contender in Honda Cadets in various disciplines and various locations, because they don't just race in the Nationals, they race in various other categories such as Super 1 and LGN, and also at the club meetings where they specialise on one circuit. And Fraser Oram has the potential to win in several different classes, well, not classes, sorry, several different clubs and disciplines and championships over the Honda Cadet season. He is definitely one of the most improved drivers over the course of the last year, and he's keeping touch with Henry Gregory. Their lap times are very similar. The gap has opened up to about 3.5 seconds. There's still 2.5 minutes to go, of course, plus the additional lap on top of it. But Henry Gregory running well, Fraser Oram in second place, and then it's these two still absolutely at each other's throats for Fabricius and Thompson. Brilliant pictures once again from the drone, flying over the scene of this magnificent Cumbria circuit. The Rowrah racetrack, one of the best karting facilities in Great Britain, and the work done to it has only made it 10 times better. So let's see how they are going to continue this battle. Fabricius hugging that inside line. They come over the line once again. You chuck the car into the right-hander. Through the left, through the right. Both carrying lots of speed as they come up towards McRae's onto the inside line. No big dive on the inside from Jack Thompson. Through turn 4. On the short stretch down towards Iredale's, turn 5, get the braking just right. We've seen Fabricius lock up and overdrift a little bit too much, and that nearly happened again. He saved it well there, Jack Thompson, able to get very close in the braking zone, but that was well caught by Oliver Fabricius. You could see again that the kart was just starting to drift a little bit, but he rolled off the brakes, got back on the power, blended the throttle. That was very nicely saved by Fabricius. He holds on to third.
Yeah, although we're looking at this battle, it is for the final podium spot and the last trophy on the podium. You have to bear in mind, we've said this before, Jake, this could be a battle for 20th and 21st place. Today it's for 3rd and 4th, and Thompson up the inside and takes the place through the final turn, Paddock Bend, and with just over a minute on the clock, Thompson bags himself that final podium spot as things stand at the moment. The reason these battles are so important, and that's the pair of them going through McRae's at the bottom of the circuit, coming back to Iredale's. The hairpin, another great overtaking opportunity. Will Fabricius have a look? Not quite, doesn't quite make it. But It's between these two for the final spot on the podium today, but who knows, on another day it could be for the race lead. Fabricius has a look down the inside, puts his nose in there, but nothing more at this stage. These battles are so important because today it's for third. Next week, next month, next year, this could be for the race win at the British Championships.
Absolutely, you learn on the job in this sport. You've got to lead by doing, and all the way through these battles, it doesn't matter where you race in the United Kingdom or further afield, every race is absolutely crucial. Lewis Hamilton will probably tell you the races he didn't win in karting were the most valuable ones. He learnt how to win, learnt how to adapt to pressure, learnt how to deal with situations out of his control. Look at the defence from Thompson. He's holding on, a little bit of a spin there from Thompson. Now he feels that Fabricius nudged him. Let's have a look again and see what happened. Down to the braking zone, Thompson holding the middle of the circuit, Fabricius chopping across, he's going to move to the left. Oh yeah, he's nudged him just the slightest bit there, unfortunately. Now that's not intentional, that's under brakes. He's caught himself out under brakes and just nudged him. That would not have been a deliberate move.
It's not deliberate, you're right, Jake, but if the officials have seen it, we're into the last lap for the race leader, Henry Gregory. What a dominating weekend for him. Fraser Oram well clearing second. And it will be the man coming through for third place will be Oliver Fabricius, but that is Jack Thompson, who's got going again. Unfortunately, it'd be disappointing for him because it doesn't look like he's batting his steering wheel. He knows he's lost the trophy, and it doesn't look like the officials have spotted it. If they'd spotted that, Jake, they would penalise the driver for contact because, as you've mentioned recently, I think in the Super 1 programme you were talking about advantage by contact. He has gained an advantage as a consequence of the contact, but it's not been seen by the officials or the marshals. They can't do anything about it, and unfortunately for Jack Thompson, it doesn't look like anything is going to be done about it, and he will be denied his prize.
To err is human, I suppose. Out in first position, though, Henry Gregory, having set the fastest lap as well, takes the victory. So, double bubble, a pot and a wristwatch. Very nice indeed. Second place for Fraser Oram. Oliver Fabricius, he'll feel a little bit uneasy about that. That's not the way he would have wanted to get third position. Jack Thompson in fourth place is going to come through. Yeah, he's happy that he's got that victory. I suppose I was wrong then. Maybe he feels he was happy to get that third position. Thompson will not agree. And in fifth place, Charlie Wyatt does come home quite close in the end to Jack Thompson, having made up the ground. So Gregory takes the win from Fraser Oram and Oliver Fabricius. Thompson in fourth and Charlie Wyatt in fifth. But Henry Gregory does the double. He gets the win in the race to get the Gold Cup and will walk home wearing Ferrari on his wrist.
Henry, dominating weekend for you. Nobody had an answer to your pace. Have you enjoyed the weekend, the format?
Yes. It was all right until Heat 2, where I was pushing my teammate Fraser Oram, and it just didn't go the way planned, trying to defend on the last lap, and I ran wide in the final corner.
But that's just Heat 2, isn't it? And there were 6 heats, of course, but the final there, again, dominating performance. Who do you want to thank for your weekend?
My dad, MW Racing, RPM, Synergy and Tillet Racing.
Okay, well done.
Thank you.
Great weekend for Henry Gregory. Join us again in part 4 for the juniors.